Good morning, everyone. I wanted to show you guys how this angel trumpet is doing. She's finally blooming all at once. There's been sporadic blooms for the past couple of months, but now it looks like she's starting to bloom and giving us several blooms worthy enough to be the center stage. We are end of July, and you can see here she's blooming quite a bit, getting taller. She is a little over, well, I would say she's about 6 feet. I was going to say over 5.5 feet tall. It is a multi-trunk down here, so I just kind of let her grow, and she's doing great, sending up several blooms, and you can see here she is just beautiful, and the smell is amazing. Look at all these new blooms. These are new blooms coming in, and then she's got new buds up here. You can see these little tiny buds. Eventually they opened up, and then they mature, and then as they age and as they open, they go from a little yellowish to this beautiful chartreuse yellow color, and then she all of a sudden goes from this yellow to this beautiful, beautiful light pink color, and then open a little more, and a little more, and a lot more. This is why she's called an angel trumpet, because she hangs down like a trumpet. And then this is an aged one. And then the flower will eventually drop off. The calyx that holds the flower will form a seed pod, and I usually just come in and I snip it off, or I come in and I pinch it off, because I wanted to concentrate more on flower as opposed to trying to grow seedlings. And the angel trumpet is so easy to propagate, whether in water or in soil. I do most of my propagation in soil as opposed to water, because I don't like to transplant them from the water to the soil, because the root is so fragile. When you do that, it breaks. So I'd rather just go directly into soil and then just let it do its thing. So these are some seed pods that will be opening up. But look at the two tones. Isn't that beautiful? Now I've got two different varieties. I've got this one, and then I've got the yellow one. Let me take you to the yellow one. And then I actually have another one that is double petal, but that one is taking a lot longer to grow. So I won't be able to show you that one because it's still trying to root in. So hopefully by next year, I'll be able to show you that. I got the cutting from Texas, and they've rooted in now. So we'll see how they do for next year. But this is the yellow variety. This one literally just goes from when it sends out its bloom stalk. It stays somewhat chartreuse, and then it just goes straight to yellow. So this variegated one doesn't give you too much color variation, but it's still very pretty nevertheless. Here's a bigger seed pod. Here's a littler seed pod, medium size to fully open. But if you ever grow these, the fragrance in the morning and in the evening time, that's when I feel like they're the most fragrance. It smells so sweet, almost like a honeysuckle. So these are the ones that I popped off. You can see here, these were flowers, and I popped them off as opposed to letting it form seed pods. But isn't that beautiful? This one is doing great. They tend to like more full sun, part shade. If you are in the south where it's high heat and humidity, they do need a little bit of a break, but if you give them enough water, they will do just fine. So making sure you get that well balance of, if you have more sun, give them more water. Less sun, you might be able to get away with less water, but they are beautiful. I love them. Now they are poisonous, just in case you're wondering, because everyone will always comment on angel trumpet. They are poisonous, but with care, a lot of plants have some kind of toxics to it. You wouldn't want to ingest the plant unless you know it's an edible plant. So yes, they are toxic. Now I do have another one over here that is just a single stalk. So with mine, they tend to just go up single stalk. I generally will take off these bigger leaves just to let some light through. There's another one over here that is doing great, and this is the other yellow variety. This is the hedge of elephant ear that I planted. They are so ready to be divided because look at how big they're getting. They literally hide the entire area. Here's another angel trumpet. It's doing great, except for the fact that something is eating holes in them, but that's all right. See, something likes them. There's always something wild. Oh, look, I found the culprit. Can you guys see it? Camouflage very well, but it's one of those what do you call them, horn worms or something like that. They really enjoy my tomato plant, so I'm glad that they found this guy. But I'll keep an eye on it because they can defoliate an entire plant. But this one looks like it's big enough. I don't mind if it eats a little bit here and there, but if it decimates the plant, I would want to make sure I get this little guy taken care of. He's really small right now, but eventually he will get bigger and is yucky. These are new buds, starting to get bigger and bigger, and then eventually you get this flower. So this one is doing great over here. A couple other things that are doing great in the garden other than this elephant. The elephant ears is literally taking over. It's loving its life. I've got, of course, my hardy hibiscus is doing amazing. Look at that color in the garden. If you want to pop in the garden, I know there's a lot of people that have adverse reaction to the bright color red, but it stands out, especially with the foliage. It just pops in the garden. Like if I'm sitting on the porch, I look out, the first thing that catches my attention are these beautiful red hardy hibiscus. This is the Midnight Marvel. It is very hard to keep up with it because I try to go in and deadhead, because if you don't deadhead, it looks very messy because the flower will drop and then it'll get on the flowers, and then the flowers may not open. So I will try to come out here every morning in my morning walk and just come snip off. See how it's trying to form a seed head? And I don't want it to do that because I want it to send up new little flower buds, see? As opposed to spending all that energy into the seed head. So I go in, and in the process of deadheading, like these guys here, in the process of deadheading them, I just remove it. Any seed head that is there, I just go in and I pop it off. Because like I said, if you don't do it, it looks messy. Because it falls on the other flowers, and then and the leaves, and it gets really mushy. So I go in my morning walks in the garden, and I pop the heads off. It's not too hard. That way it'll have energy to spend in the flowers. Now you honestly don't have to do this. I just do it. Maybe it's very therapeutic in my line of work. I can't pop people's head off, so why not use that energy toward purpose, right? Toward the flowers. So that way I get more flower blooms. I mean, it's like a double whammy. But isn't that gorgeous? And then I've got this white one over here. She pops in the garden too. Isn't that beautiful? So the two-tone combo, look at that. You get the red one. This is another hardy hibiscus Midnight Marvel that I did from cutting. I have so many of them, you guys. They are so easy to propagate. I have a garden full. I made a hedge, and I can't wait to show you next year. But look at those colors, how they complement each other. Like you've got this red one, the white one with the red center that pops, and then you've got this red one that just blends in with that color. And there's a bumblebee right there. Trying to get the, oh, it flew away. So, yeah, coming in deadhead. And this is when it closes back up. Oh, and it fell off. So these are new buds. Look at how beautiful that is. And then it opens up. Now remember, hardy hibiscus, the flowers only last one day, but look at all the blooms. And they consecutively bloom. So you get a bloom every day. And this is, it just came in this year. I got it from a friend and it was not looking the best. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it, but it did. And it only has like, I think three stalks actually. Oops. So what I'm going to have to do is wait a little bit and then take some cutting from it. I've got grass everywhere. Ugh. So hardy hibiscus right now is doing great because of the high heat and humidity and the rain. I water it quite a bit. And then I've got this pink one that I propagated. A friend gave it to me. It's probably one of my favorite. Just the color blend. It reminds me of a cotton candy. Just this pink, light pink, white center. Well, actually, the center itself is a super dark pink. And then it kind of goes a kaleidoscope of softer, muted white. And then it goes darker again on the outside. Isn't that a beautiful, stunning color? So that's doing great. And the Cleome is doing amazing as well. Over here, I have the same thing. More hardy hibiscus. Gotta go in there and deadhead it. But look at these two. You cannot go wrong with these guys. Now they do take a while to bloom because they need that high heat to start blooming. But once they do and they take off, look at this guy. He's like 5 feet high, 5 feet wide. Creates a structure in the garden. I mean, it's taking up so much real estate space. So we'll see. The Cleome is doing great, as well as the hydrangeas. There's a hydrangea over there. This one I was trying to train into multi-trunk standard, but you can see that some of it is a little bit bigger than others, so I might go in later on and we're going to have to work on that multi-trunk standard. It's kind of messy in here and very weedy. Garden, you know, everything grows. So this is the pink hardy hibiscus that I like. I wasn't sure about this one because it took a beating from all the rainstorms that we had before it set flower. Wasn't sure if it's going to make it, but it lived up to its name, hardy hibiscus. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? This one doesn't seem like it has as much of the white center as the other one. I think it's probably because it's in the shade. Can you see that bee? I think it's because it's in the shade that it's not as white as the other one. But look at that bee with all the pollens on its legs. But isn't that gorgeous? I mean, look how big the flowers are, and you can really enjoy it. Look at all these other buds that are coming out. Look at how beautiful that color is. I am definitely loving the hardy hibiscus. This one here has 3. It's like all the way around. If you look around, that one got eaten a little bit, but this one was yesterday's flower, so it's ready to come off. Look how it curls back up. It's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. It curls itself back up for the night and then it's done. So I just pop and drop it. Can decompose in the ground. The Cleome over here is doing great. Let me show you the Cleome. Look at that. It's attracting hummingbirds, but mainly hummingbird moth. Those are really cool to see. and they self-seed themselves readily. Look at every single flower produces a seed pod. These are all the seed pods. You see them? Every single flower turns into a seed pod. So there's like millions of flowers. These are all seed pods. Isn't that spectacular? I've already come in and collected a bowl full that I will preserve and then will grow. Salvia is full and beautiful and floppy from all the rain, but that's okay. It'll stand itself right back up. I really do like this salvia. It's more compact. It only gets to about 2 feet. 2 feet tall. Now width is a little bit wider than I like, but I think that's only because it's flopping over, but creates such a beautiful color in the garden. Over here, sedum is outgrowing its area. I mean, not sedum, coleus is growing out its area. This is a pineapple sage, but more of a yellow popping color. I needed a little bit more leaf structure. You can see the grasses in here with the verbena. I'm not sure if I like that. I might come in and just cut everything off. Coneflower still doing good. Panicle hydrangea, beautiful pop in the garden, gives you that yellow look. Look at this. That's such a beautiful color arrangement right there. And then over here, this is my vanilla strawberry, very floppy. It is starting to go brown, so I'm going to come in and prune it back so I can get a second flush so that it can start to turn that pink color once fall comes into play. You can see it has a slight pink hue, but you can see it's going more brown than pink. So we're going to come in and cut this off. It is very floppy. It can't hold itself upright. I think what I should do is train instead of into such a short standard. It's only like maybe a foot tall in the tree form, and then I let it kind of billow out. But I think it needs to be a taller, maybe like 5 feet, 6 feet, and then you let it billow out. I think that would be more beautiful, because right now, look, it's like literally laying on the ground because the trunk itself is too short. Because the trunk is a lot shorter than the actual stem. Look at the stem right here. And that's 1 year's growth. So the stem is only like a foot tall. I mean, the trunk is only a foot tall. And then the stem grew like 3 feet tall. So you see the billowing effect doesn't really work because the trunk at the bottom is too short. So I think I'm going to take some cutting and then retrain it into a taller, like I said, 5 feet, and then let it billow out. The figs. Oh my goodness, you guys, there is so many figs on here. And look, it's starting to ripen. I think this one is the turkey fig, I want to say. So this one's about ripen. It's about ready to go in and eat. And you can see they're slowly starting to ripe. The colors are changing. You know, you get new ones like this, and then they slowly age and become this color. When they're this color, this is when you want to eat it. So fig tree is doing great. I've got more cuttings, and eventually, hopefully, we'll have an orchard full of figs. Then we can make some fig jams, and eat fresh figs, and be happy and figgy. The sedum. Oh my goodness, you guys, look at that hedge of sedum. And let me show you some of these over here. The sedum is going insane. Very beautiful, and I cannot wait for it to turn color. I'm hoping they don't flop like they do every year. But I think that's just wishful thinking, because sedum here will flop in the south just because we have such high humidity and the wetness. It likes more dry. It's like in the succulent family. So it prefers to be on a little bit on the drier side. So you can see here the split is starting to happen, and if it gets more wet, it's gonna flop over. Right now it's looking spectacular in the garden. It is a little bit tall. They get to probably 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Too tall for a front border, but this is the plant that I had at the beginning, so that's what I use for the garden to fill up the garden. And you can see it is filling up its space beautifully. Got some more over here, and look, they're actually starting to age. See, when they age, they turn this pink hue and they open up into these tiny little flower petal, like they open up just like that. And then their hue, they will take on a pinkish mauve hue color. Very beautiful. I would definitely recommend you guys growing sedum if you have some. This is autumn joy sedum. The foliage is pretty and it's very unique. A lot of people really enjoy the foliage. Like, it's a succulent kind of foliage. They're really pretty. But then they send out these flower head that's almost like a panicle, like a hydrangea. And then they bloom and they actually turn the mauve pinkish color for me. Whereas the panicle hydrangea, they go from white to then brown. See, there's another one over there that's looking really nice. But they'll go from white to brown just because we don't get that cooler weather at nighttime. They don't turn. So if you want that mauve color in the fall time, go with the autumn joy sedum. They are very pretty. Coneflower is still doing great. Coleus is taking over. This one tends to, like, I don't know, it flops out and takes over. It's not in a very structured format how I would like it. What I like, if you look over here, like this one, these are all grown from cuttings and they're looking beautiful and they're just a stunner in the garden. They love full sun. They are annual. They will die back, so I will need to take some cutting in the fall time, prep them for winter, and then hopefully we save some for the springtime. But you can see their forming habit is more mounded. They're round, very shapely. They keep their shape, which is great. Here's another one here that's a little bit smaller, a little bit more behind. But they love full sun. They can handle it, and they can give you guys that color you're looking for. This one, I'm not sure the variety of this one. Chocolate gumdrop or something like that. I can't quite remember, but this is also another cutting. But you can see the mounding habit. There's really no mounding. It just kind of sprawls and crawls over everywhere. Like, this is one stem, but you can see it's grown like 50 other stems over here. And no matter if I give it full sun, part shade, it does the same thing. Like this one here, it's sprawled all the way out here. And it's just kind of there. It's pretty, but it doesn't have the beautiful forming structure that I like. So we'll see what we'll do with that. And can I say, here is my second flush of the Double Delight roses. She is looking amazing, you guys. Look, she's finally pushing out and she's actually opening. Early in the springtime, I had an issue with the roses. They wouldn't open up and they would just like slowly dry up in its bud form. But I'm not sure what that was all about. Nobody was able to help me troubleshoot it, and I looked on Google, of course, because you can find anything on Google. It didn't really troubleshoot too much, but you can see here, this is a bud that's finally opening up. It's not browning, and it's not just gonna collapse and die on me, so I'm grateful for that. I'm just really enjoying this beautiful, beautiful Double Delight rose. Fragrant is great. The flower structure is beautiful, and the color. Look at that bicolor. I mean, isn't that stunning? Like, when she opens, she's kind of more white. Let me see. Well, I say that, and then look at this one. But she's more white on the inside. See it? And then as she opens up, she has this bicolor. So pretty. She's doing great. Another flower, that is Julia Child. She's doing great. This one, I can't remember the white one, but she's not doing great at all. So we're not sure about that. But let's talk about what's doing good. So look at that. That's the Double Delight. Oh, and that is just a quick tour in the garden. What is doing great right now in the garden. And yes, I need to come in and deadhead things and get it ready for a second stage. I'm going to deadhead majority of the perennial. They are looking kind of sad, and then we're going to give it a second dose of food and then let it rebound back and grow back. And look at that bumblebee. So I hope you guys are enjoying your garden. I hope you're having great success. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.